Welcome to this Friday edition of America's Day at the Races on Fox Sports 2. It's brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. 10 minutes to post in the opener coming up on this card. Set to bring you the first four on the afternoon on our Fox Sports 2 coverage. And we'll preview some of Saturday stakes action as well with the Grade 2 Sands Point and Floral Park on a great card we have coming up over the weekend. Greg Wolf alongside Acacia Clements, New York Racing Association handicapper Andy Serling. Good to see you both. And well, we'll talk about these early races coming up and excited for that Saturday card. Of course, it looks like Chad Brown has a strong hand in both.
Absolutely. A good weekend coming up. Looks like the weather's going to be nice for us yet again, as Greg is so nicely illuminated with the sunshine here as we're up on the third floor of Equestris. But yeah, the Sands Point and the Floral Park to look forward to coming up this weekend. And particularly, I think in the Sands Point, you could say that Chad has that strong hand with a couple of really talented runners.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think one of them off the maiden win isn't that strong. Spaladay had a very good trip last time to Lake Placid. Obviously, that was a pretty strong race. She looks dangerous, but Style Points is okay as well. And they feel like the two toughest players in there.
Race 2, early sort of feature for us here. 6 furlongs over the outer turf. Entry-level allowance race coming up. Take a look at the field and the morning line right there. And Miss Big Bucks, Acacia, for Michelle Nevin. Impressive winner, finally getting back on the turf last time out after the previous 2 races was washed off.
Yes, and she's a horse I just had been waiting to see get back on the turf. She by far looked the most fit that she had coming back as a 4-year-old, and while she's run well on the dirt, she's a turf horse, and she did get the kind of trip that you would expect from her. She has natural speed, Andy, and I would imagine Kendrick is going to be aggressive with her in here and in this spot. I know that you got the price on her last time that you're probably not going to get today, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an interesting thing because she's eligible for non-winners of 1 for Open Company because she won her non-winners of 1 and non-winners of 2 against state-bred races, and that's one of the advantages being a state-bred. Now, obviously, the competition a little bit tougher, and the horse that she beat, Marco T, came back as a favorite yesterday and ran a respectable second, but I don't know if it's a second that's good enough to win here. Miss Big Bucks will need a pace advantage.
Meanwhile, later today, we're going to have signed off by this point just before this race happens. Glen Cove, 3-year-old fillies sprinting on the turf. 3 scratches to the inside here. A couple of very big prices, but Nicest Pie comes out as well. Cairo, another one who comes out. L&J, though, trying to win 3 in a row for trainer Brad Cox.
Yes, and it's a watered down Glen Cove now with some of those scratches, which is unfortunate. But with the short field, it could make things even a stronger case for L&J, as she could potentially use her speed to wire the field. Now, she's the first foal of Kofefe, who obviously was a brilliant racehorse on the dirt. And this one showed nothing on the dirt in her first couple of starts. She's definitely taken huge steps forward on the turf, Andy, but I bet she's got to do it again. Maybe even still just a touch green. She has that early speed. Can she do it now against Stakes Company?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a big win last time out, and you see those big blowout wins, a much better race than the one where she broke her maiden. But these are tougher horses. You're right, though, the pace changed a lot. Carriou scratched this race, apparently run at Keeneland against a field that she has absolutely no chance whatsoever against. A little odd.
I think of Jody's Pride, it sounds like Jorge Abreu's always wanted to get this filly on the grass. She'll try it for the first time today. The first couple of starts tried to get her on the grass, were races that came off. We'll see if she takes to it.
And she's actually much more bred to be a turf horse, and she nearly provided her trainer with his first graded stakes win, just being a neck away from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies. And I think there were some questions, Andy, if she hadn't taken a step forward as a 3-year-old because she was being outworked by a good 2-year-old from the barn. That 2-year-old turned out to be Scottish Lassie, who we just saw dominant in the Frozette.
I agree, and this is probably, believe it or not, I mean, it's not the surface she belonged on because having run second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, she found the right surface there, but it might be the surface where she's better. She's certainly bred to run well on the turf. American Pharoah's been a good turf sire, and the dam side is really all turf. So we'll see if she can switch her form. If she can switch that talent and improve a little bit off it, I mean, she may just be too good for these. That's
race 5. You'll be able to see that on the app, on our YouTube coverage, I should say, New York Racing Association YouTube page. We'll be signing off just before that one. Have an even money favorite here in the opener, about 6 minutes away from a start. Here's what's ahead. Presented by Claiborne Farm. Races 1 through 4, early pick 5 pool, closing in on $120,000. Talked about that second race, and start of the pick 6 comes up in race 4. A final race will bring you early this afternoon. You can play all the action by getting signed up right there at Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime with that offer. That $200 deposit match sign-up bonus when you punch in that code for new members, match 200 at sign-up again at NairaBets.com. So the opening race, $20,000 maiden claiming 6.5 furlongs. Sprint, fillies and mares 3 and up. We're fast and firm. There's the even money favorite, Millie Jean. First race back as a 4-year-old and a big drop in class for the barn of George Weaver. More on the opener when we come back.
The Best 2-Year-Old by legendary sire Quality Road.
Get back, $1.5 million.
Very, very impressive debut. Cantering home could not have been more impressive.
Coast to coast in the American Pharoah. He's the real deal.
Undefeated and unchallenged at 2.
He's just too good. He wins the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Corniche.
Nestled behind the gates of Hillendale Farm at Alapa, you can find a cabin-like 5,000 square foot home called the Treehouse. It's a new one-of-a-kind getaway destination located in the heart of horse country. The home offers hewn beams, flooring made from lumber harvested from Maker's Mark's original rickhouse. A room with vintage horse saddles, the collection includes one that belonged to the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. You can enjoy a drink or a meal on the back screened porch or one of 4 decks that overlook the tranquil Stoner Creek. Upon request, reservations can be purchased to experience an inside look of a working thoroughbred farm with a tour of Hillendale. The Treehouse now offers a unique place to stay on the grounds that house the famed Kentucky Stallion Station and Thoroughbred Nursery of Hillendale at Alapa.
Our program brought to you by Hillendale at Alapa. We're in a holding pattern right now. We have no saddles on horses. We'll have an update for you when we come back from a short timeout. We'll be right back with more here on our FS2 coverage on America's Day at the Races. Stay with us.
The sun shines bright on Karakonte.
His first crops of racing age are showing brilliance on the racetrack with a high percentage of stakes winners. His versatility is evidenced by winners on all surfaces across the globe.
Spandarella could not have been more impressive.
The sun shines bright on this value sire.
Fair down 25, fair down 25, fair down. Thank you. Right here, 525,000.
Caraconte, standing at Gainesway.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.
Marshalier, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Back with you on America's Day at the Races here on Fox Sports 2, and we have some breaking news to bring you right now. It shocked really to all of us. We just found this out. We saw there was a holding pattern, no saddles on horses, and the reason is live racing, we've just been told, for the Friday card has been canceled due to maintenance on the roof next door to the Resorts World Casino. It's caused an air quality issue for officials and employees on that press level floor. So as a result of that, the entire card today here at Belmont at the Big A, just been told has been canceled.
This is work done by Resorts World, I believe. And it's screwed up the air quality, yeah. I don't know what to say. I've seen a lot in my years of the racing. I never saw this before.
Yeah, we are all a little bit speechless right now. Did not see this coming in any way. We were, just a minute or two to post, and unfortunate indeed. But Friday card in its entirety has been canceled because of that air quality issue. So we'll be back at it obviously tomorrow, we hope. No word that we wouldn't be. We do have 2 stakes on that card tomorrow, including our ABR race of the week. That's the Grade 2 Sands Point. 3-year-old fillies, mile and an eighth on the grass at Spaladay. For trainer Chad Brown, Manny Franco, 9-5 morning line favorite, who was a stakes winner in case you had Monmouth 2 starts back.
She did. She won the Boiling Springs at Monmouth and then tried the Lake Placid up at Saratoga, was beaten by her stablemate Grayosh that day, and thought that she ran fine. She is a closing type. She's one that does seem to have taken a step forward as a later part of her 3-year-old season, I should say, and she's obviously a big player coming in off of those 2 solid stakes efforts, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, she had a very good trip and a very good ride last time in the Sands Point, but I mean, on the Sands Point and Lake Placid, but in this field, she has to be considered the horse to beat. But I don't think the margin between her and Style Points is that significant. They look like the 2 biggest players here, unless you're dying to bet Makenga on a cutback, but it's still 1.1 miles for her, right?
Well, Manny Franco on Spaladay. Meanwhile, Style Points for Christophe Clement went to Colonial, and that Virginia Oaks victory. Very impressive in this performance. We'll take a look here in this dead heat with Deep Satin.
And she did get up the dead heat, a very tight photo finish. It was watching it live, you couldn't tell. It actually looked like Deep Satin might have gotten the bob, but she finished in part of that 7-win Tour de Force day for Manny Franco at Colonial that afternoon. Andy, it was just a terrific afternoon for him, and he gave this filly yet another great ride.
Yeah, the horse that she dead heats with is a very nice runner for Cherie DeVaux. Put a little distance between the others in here. She's a very logical horse that's been running good races. I have no issue with her. She seems like she and, like we said, she and Spaladay are the big 2. I think there are other horses in here not named Justin I.
Speaking of Justin Justify Philly, going to cut back in distance for Danny Gargan, coming off that runner-up in the Grade 3 Jockey Club Oaks. And for the most part, Acacia been going a lot longer.
She has been, and she is one who I was a bit surprised that she did improve when stretching out, because she is one that's a very energetic type, but she has run fine. She's been right there between some big races. Second last time out in the Jockey Club Oaks. I thought, had a good trip that day, Andy. That was against straight 3-year-olds in that spot. But she's not a winning type, and I think she might be just a little bit dressed up. I thought that she kind of was just right there.
No, I think she's a massive. I mean, she's 5-1 in the morning line. I think it's a takeout eliminator in here. And yeah, I read comments by her trainer saying that, well, that horse that beat her last time, she would crush this field or something that she was the best horse in here. Well, that's just absurd, because Spaladay beat the horse that beat her in that race by almost 5 lengths when they ran together in the Lake Placid. Maybe she's improved a little since then, but I think it was 1 mile and 3/8. And the other thing with Justin and I, she's gotten better with more distance. I don't see why she's going to now improve cutting back in distance. But listen, you like her, better.
Meanwhile, Floral Park on that card as well. That's race 7 tomorrow. We will have coverage for that one as well. And same 2 barns going to be battling each other there, Christophe Clement and Chad Brown.
That's right. Christoph sending out 2, Loon Cry and Love Appeals, as Loon Cry has actually won her last 3 races. Little New York bred that could, beating her stablemate last time out, when breaking a little bit awkwardly at the beginning as well, but closing to get the victory. So she's coming in on a good streak as of late.
Yeah, I agree. She's gotten better here. I think there's a couple questions here. Obviously, risk threshold, dressed up a little bit by a good rail last time, but obviously she's good. And how much pressure is she going to get in here? Secret Money, the horse inside of her, I thought she might be the horse to beat in this race. Sort of a battle of a speed versus a closer.
All right, well, that is coming up on our Saturday coverage. Again, surprise to all of us. Card canceled today due to maintenance on that roof next door at the Resorts World Casino. It's caused an air quality issue for officials and employees on that press level. So we will be back at it tomorrow. Our apologies, beyond our control to cut this day short, but entire day canceled. We will see on our Saturday coverage. That man right there, hoping for a big Saturday afternoon. We just talked about a couple of his contenders. Spaladay, that stakes winner at Monmouth. Couple starts back, and also, we'll send out Risk Threshold, trying to make it 3 in a row. Speed is her weapon. We'll see you on our Saturday coverage. It's European Poker coming up next on FS2.
Down, 350. Here we go. 3 here, 50, down 4, 8.5, in the back. 1,400,000 stands way in the back. Thank you.
1,000,005, and I'm $1,006,000, $150,000, $1,550,000 and a half. $1,500,000. Jody, thank you.
Please hold your applause.